Welcome back, Lee Brukeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. Before we go to our guest, Eugene Daniel, and also Coach Richard Oliver, the head coach of Scotlandville High School, I ran into someone watching 8th grade football over the weekend. And I'm going to tell you, you just never realize who you're going to run into. I ran into Mike Delicano, who is a former teammate of Eugene Daniel from a few years ago. I'm not going to give the age. I'll let Eugene tell me that. But they were teammates at Lehigh when Lehigh had Al Richardson, who's still, I think, the all-time leading tackler at LSU. They had a guy named Leonard Smith who made All-Pro a few years that played with Eugene. They had several guys. I'll let Eugene tell me more about that. But he told me to tell you, hey, on the show, Eugene.
Yeah, Mike Delicano. We both played the same position, but I couldn't play that position as long as Mike was in high school. So the year he left, they moved me to quarterback.
I met him, and we went to a restaurant in town at Superior Grill, and he said, you're the first guy, Lee, to call me by Mike and not Neil Delicano. Because Neil was an All-American at UCLA,
yes,
but Neil
yes.
went to Catholic High.
Went to Catholic High, and Mike was at Lehigh. Matter of fact, Mike was at Kenilworth with me in middle school. But he was a pretty good quarterback. And during the time he was playing quarterback, they moved me to wing back.
Did I leave anybody out that signed?
You had a lot of guys out of college. You had Carl Cheneville, Wilkerson, Brett Wilkerson, Mark Motorcut signed with LSU as a kicker and a defensive back. Had Ricky Stewart went out to McNeese. And I'm leaving out some names.
Now,
there's a lot of guys that signed.
I'm going to do it because I know you're humble too, but one high school in Baton Rouge. You played 13 years in the NFL with the Colts.
Yes.
Leonard Smith played a decade or so.
Yes.
Do you know of a high school, Coach Oliver, from Baton Rouge that had 2 DBs that had 25 years of NFL experience?
No, I don't think it's a high school in America that got that. Coach Daniels did an outstanding job playing, and he's also an outstanding football coach too.
Now, what is it like having Eugene as your DB coach for Scotlandville? I mean, this is the first year, and I mean, Eugene had worked at Redemptus a little bit with Coach Mastretta and Coach Edwards.
Well, Eugene brings a lot of wisdom to the table. And some of them crazy ideas that me and my other assistant coaches get, he kind of keeps us level head and talks us out of some of the crazy stuff. But he does a real good job, technique sound. I mean, he's a wonderful, wonderful addition to the staff. And we're blessed to have him around and really appreciate everything that he brings to the table.
Now I remember, and I think you remember this, Coach, when you were leaving Estruma, I think you brought Estruma back. That's just my opinion. You brought him back. They had some losing seasons, but you brought him back, disciplined team. And I remember when you were leaving, I went to the school and saw you, and to see the love that your players had for you.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that you would leave, and McKinney Evans is doing a good job this year, but
he sure is.
You go to Scotlandville, and you still keep up with your guys from Estruma that are playing college ball now.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys playing college ball, and I get calls from them all the time, from Lewis West to Devin Hollins. You know, we get calls every week, Coach, while I'm playing on this day, come watch me on TV. You know, some have even invited me up to a couple of games. You know, Devin invited me to the Tulane game this weekend.
Devin Hollins.
Yeah, he's a starting linebacker for Tulane, and even the Garrett kid that plays for Missouri, you know, starting free safety for Missouri. So we've been privileged to put a lot of kids in college. Of course, those kids work hard. You know, I looked in the paper today. I always get a text from Daniel Porter before he played. Coach, watch what I do this weekend, and he had a real fine game also. You know, those kids make me proud, and that's what it's all about. You know.
Well, I wanted to tell you we might have a surprise call tonight from Tom Marr from Pasadena Junior College in California, who signed Louis West, signed Garrett. He might call in to talk to you.
Okay.
And, you know, this is the defensive coordinator from, now he's at Fullerton State.
Okay.
And 5 Northside kids signed this past year with him.
Yeah.
3 of them are starting. And he feels like 5 of them will sign from Louisiana this year, D1.
Yeah. 5
new ones. And he also had a kid named Tremaine Vaughns that's starting for Missouri that was from Patterson that went up to Pasadena.
Yeah. Yeah, Pasadena, we one time we sent like 11 kids up there.
That's
a
lot.
So he came down and took the whole busload of them, and some of them made it out, some of them didn't. But, you know, it's a good experience, and we're proud of those kids, you know.
We got Tara coming up later, Coach. What do you think of these Trojan helmets, huh? Does that look like USC Trojans?
Oh, that's exactly like USC. You know, that's a nice helmet, you
know. This week's opponent, Denham Springs.
Denham Springs very tough, much improved from last year. They've been rolling a little bit. They've been doing pretty well, so it's going to be a hard-fought game, you know.
What do you think of this being the final game of the season? Where your team's at? PowerPoints. What's your opinion about the PowerPoint?
I like it. I like it because you kind of control your own destiny when you schedule. You make your schedule a little harder at the beginning. It kind of helps you out at the end. And you know, I kind of like the way the system is set up. You know, it used to be where it's district champs and then there's second place and third place. But you know, power ratings to me is a lot better. You know.
Eugene, what has it changed in high school football when you're at Redemptor's, 2 state championships, 2 coaches? PowerPoints were coming into play. I mean, the last, 5-6 years. So
yeah.
Now you're coaching at Scotlandville. The district has changed too.
The
talent's better.
Everything has changed at Scotlandville, and the PowerPoints. It gives the team the opportunity that's not in first place, not in second place, still make the playoff. That's a good team, but wouldn't have made the playoff any other way. Is rewarding those teams that play that tough schedule, play against the tough schools, and then in the end, they're still going to make it to the playoff.
How many teams, and Coach Oliver, you talk about it too, that in this district will make the playoffs, you think? How many can or will, probably?
Well, right now, I think it'll be us, Central, Denham, and Catholic. I think Woodlawn is on the outside looking in. I don't know how close they is when I looked at it the other day. But I think 4 teams could very well make it to the playoffs. I know 3 for sure.
And then you got a good Woodlawn that y'all just played.
Yeah, Woodlawn's very good. You know, they had Central for a while and ended up losing in the end, and they play everybody pretty tough. You know, Coach Jones, I've been knowing him for a long time. He does a fine job with those kids, and they got a few athletes over there. They're very dangerous team.
The only thing I don't like is that when you play a team in your own district in the playoffs, that's tough.
Yeah.
Because you know the other team, they know you.
Yeah.
And that's a disadvantage, right, Eugene? That's not a...
Yeah, they know all your little
secrets
gimmicks,
and
your what to try on you. They know everything pretty much. And you sort of hope that you play a team that you don't play in the district because hopefully your team can get up a little bit better for that school. They hadn't played them before. You can probably say some things to get them fired up a little bit. But when you playing a team, you just played across town.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about Southern, the ex-school coach, and LSU. We're going to talk a little about. And I have a feeling that a lot of teams in this district will play each other in the playoffs, and you probably will see a Parkview Redemptor's playoff game again. So we'll be back in just a moment with more Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We're going to have more with Eugene Daniel, Coach Richard Oliver. Tara's Coach Lejeune will be on later. And also we got 2 big-time Zachary recruits and Scotlandville recruits when we come back in just a minute.